Are live.
Welcome everybody who attended the ISV conference in the last couple of days. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed the presentations as much as I did. I mean, this came as close to being and meeting in person as one could imagine. And I must say, I personally especially liked the personal stories that we heard during the various Meet to Fellow sessions, but also some of the speakers were quite personal in sharing some of their experience, like today when we learned about the company Inventorprize and how Subhash was able to raise money. So what I would like to do today is, rather than giving a summary of the entire conference, because the great news is that everyone who registered for this meeting can continue to watch the various presentations over the next 2 weeks. So you can go back in and join the meetings. And one of the glitches that I thought we experienced was if somebody didn't end in time, or if you were a little low to click the join button, you would end up in a presentation while it was already started. And that was a little bit, we need to see how we can deal with that in the future. So I personally have to rewatch some of the presentations because I missed the first 2 minutes. But with having said all that, I would like to do a couple of things. I'm very happy and to have here on the panel today with me Laura and Us, who really helped getting the program together. And it was every now and then quite a bit of stress getting the speakers to respond to us, getting the right people aligned, etc. But in the end, it all worked out despite some very tough situations, right? So also Ed Gibson, who has his camera off, but who has done a tremendous amount of work behind the scene. Oh, and there we have him with a mask. Mm-hmm. He has done an amazing job in making sure that the speakers, the Meet the Fellows, that everybody would submit their their material on time, and he really had a hard time every now and then getting that done, and he worked very closely with Shan to make things happen. So the fact that we could all enjoy this meeting is really thanks to those 2 guys and all the work that they've done with us. And of course, when we were putting the program together, we reached out to our scientific advisory panel, and many of our scientific advisory panel members actually participated in this meeting, but most of them also implemented, giving us pointers, giving us suggestions for speakers, giving us suggestions for topics, and we really worked around that to come up with a schedule that hopefully you enjoyed listening to. So I also would like to thank the speakers, the people that submitted posters. We had about 40 posters. In the beginning, we were a bit disappointed about that, but it's very hard, I guess, in this virtual environment to submit a poster, but we are very grateful to the ones that did. We selected 6 of the poster presentations for oral abstracts, but many of the posters also have a short video recording, and it's really worthwhile to look at those recordings if you have an opportunity and if you have a chance in the next couple of days, because some of them are really good, and you really, for me, it's easier to listen to people talk about their work and about their poster than to really read that poster from beginning till the end. So again, in the next 2 weeks, when you still have access to all this information, please feel free to look at all the posters. Now, session chairs, I'm also very grateful for what they did, for being there, introducing the speakers, but also being present during the Q&A sessions. That was wonderful. And then I have one very important topic to address, and that is that the Human Vaccines and Immunotherapeutics magazine, HVNI, has offered to issue a special magazine, a special selection on this conference. So I've already made sure that people that were invited to speak, that they are aware of this opportunity, but also poster presenters and anyone for that matter who feels that they have a valuable topic to discuss and share with the Society of Vaccines. Please feel free to reach out to me. because then we'll make this happen. And the idea is that we're going to try to get this off the ground before October. I know that is very short dating, but if you reach out to me in the next couple of weeks, I will make sure that we get good information from the Journal of HPNI to give us instructions on when we need to submit our papers, etc. And with that, I want to ask Laura and Rhee whether they have anything to add to it before we can hand it to Denise, who's going to be our new president. Laura,
Well, no, thank you, Manon. And again, thanks to Ted and Shan for their patience with us and the speakers. And thank you all.
Thanks, Laura. Rhee, any comments?
Yeah, so I totally agree what you said, Manon. Great thanks to Shan and Ted. I mean, they were extremely helpful and supportive, instrumental for organizing this meeting. Thanks a lot. Also, thanks to all the speakers. They did a wonderful job. For me, there were some absolute highlights that I could share with you if you like. So I really like the talks of Florian Kramer on flu vaccines. That's always a very interesting story. I also like the talk of John Hendricks on RSV. The masterclass of Katerina Kaczynska I found very, very interesting on T-cell immunity against SARS-CoV-2 and also against the influenza viruses. So I think there were definitely some highlights in this Congress. Great program. I think the people enjoyed what they were offered. So yes, big thanks and great effort. So I would stop here and give the word back to Manon.
And I like the way Rhee does this, right? Because he specifically picks the day and the people that made a major contribution on the day that he was responsible for. But having said all that, I think we had 3 tremendous keynote addresses. I mean, all of them were very, very important and shared some amazing information with us. I mean, when I saw the pictures of the wildlife and the bushmeat that was coming into JFK in Ian Lipkin's presentation, I was also like, is this really happening? Is this where all the viruses are coming from? But Peter Hotez's presentation, of Ostrow's presentation, and actually all the speakers. I cannot name anyone who didn't do a fantastic job. So thank you to everyone. And thank you, Rhee, thank you, Laura, for helping out here. And with that, Denise, welcome to being the next president of the ISV, or the current president, and I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you very much. It's a real honor and great pleasure to be elected as the new president-elect for the International Society of Vaccines, which is, I think, a wonderful society. And I hope that everyone that's been listening to this wonderful conference has got an insight into what we do and how we do it. I want to extend my particular thanks to Manon and the organizers of this committee. I think it's been an absolutely fantastic meeting, and the amount of work that's gone on behind the scenes has been incredible. Being the first real virtual conference put together in this format has certainly been a challenge, and I want to really can't underestimate the amount of work that's gone on in trying to the new scenes, in particular Shan Lu and Edward Gibson as well, and all the many people that have been contributing to make this such a success. So I think that as Manon and the others have said, that the presentations that have been given have been really outstanding and has covered a wide breadth of vaccinology and contributions to vaccine science from all the different disciplines. And I think that gives an idea of what ISV does and what we stand for. And ISV really is our society. It is a society for vaccine researchers, vaccine development, anyone associated with vaccines in any form. And it truly is a wonderful not-for-profit society that really should be viewed as a family. And so we really encourage anyone who is not a member to join the membership and to contribute to the society. We have a geographic distribution that spans the entire world, and the conferences are hosted in alternate cities. Except for COVID, it has been obviously an inline conference that since 2007 has been hosted every year in either the US, Europe, or Asia, and alternating. The conference next year is intended to be in Quebec City in Canada. And it is a great pleasure for me to introduce as the lead organizer for the next conference is Joon Rhee from Chonnam National University in South Korea. And he will be very ably assisted by Manon, who will be continuing on in a supporting role, as well as Gary Kobinger, who is a newly elected fellow who hopefully people listened to the other night. So Gary came from the Research Center of Infectious Diseases in Canada, but he's now en route to Galveston, Texas. So I think between Joon, Manon and Gary, it'll be in very, very wonderful hands, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. What I'm going to do now is to hand over to the new committee, so Joon, Manon and Gary, to introduce a little bit more about the next conference. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everyone very much for participating and being part of ISV and listening and participating in the sessions, and hopefully joining the society and being part of us for the future. Over to you, Joon.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
very
we can.
well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was supposed to chair the Congress organizing committee from last year, along with Dr. Klaviskins. But she was elected as the president-elect for the next term. So as Dr. Doolan commented, the 2020 Congress should have been postponed because of the COVID-19 crisis. As you vividly notice, the crisis is not solved yet. As a contingency plan, full virtual Congress was organized under the very excellent leadership of Manon. Thank you very much for your excellent contribution. As you have seen, this year's virtual Congress was a big success with full of content and attracted many participants. The organizing committee hopefully is expecting the COVID-19 situation will be solved or at least mitigated in 2022. We plan to have the in-person 2022 ISP Congress in Quebec City, as Dr. Doolan and many other mentioned. And as Dr. Gary Kobinger will present after me, Quebec City will provide us a perfect venue for in-person Congress. Historically, ISV Congress is held in turn all over the globe, Europe, North America, and Asia in turn. Next to the Quebec City will be some beautiful city in Asia. I hope you will enjoy coming ISV Congresses. Thank you very much for your attention and enthusiastic participation. Thank you. Thank you, I'm done.
And so Gary, maybe you can give us a little bit introduction about Quebec City.
Yes, thank you. I'm trying to share my screen so you can see. There you go. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to be a bit quick to introduce this venue in Quebec 2022. You see the pictures of Quebec. Actually, we had tried that for not the past venue, but the one before. And because of COVID, everything had been delayed. And now we're trying back to have what we hope is an in-person venue. Although I think that the virtual option will also be available. I was so impressed with the platform that was used this time that I think it's totally feasible to have both, actually, to have an in-person for those who can travel and still not penalize those and give them the option to attend virtually, the one that have more challenges to travel. So this is pictures of the city. One important picture that I wanted to show you is from the main airport of the city. It's about 20 to 25 minutes to the convention center, and all the hotels are walking distance that are going to be on the list. This is with mild traffic, but even with heavy traffic, it's never going to be more than 45 minutes. I think that 30-35 is pretty much the maximum for traveling between the airport and the venue. So it gives you an idea of plan for your planning. The bottom left picture is actually the train station. It's 10 to 15 minutes walking distance from the convention center. I must point out that there's a hill to climb and it's quite steep. So if you have a heavy luggage, it's a good idea to get a cab. But other than that, you can walk easily between the two. The trees there is because I didn't change the picture, but initially we were supposed to be in the fall, but this time it's June, as you may have seen. So it's going to be more colorful, but with flowers. And so this is a picture of the convention center in Quebec with the address. You can check online what's around it. These are pictures inside the convention center. It is roomy enough. At the same time, it is designed in a way that it can be very easy to have close contact with participants. There's a lot of different rooms, like most convention center, and it is very nicely located in at the border of the old city, which is the last standing fortified city in North America, and one of the first. At least if you take into account that it's a stone-built fortified city. And so these are just more pictures. You can go online and see more and what to do around while you are attending the meeting before and after. I encourage you to stay a day or two or more if you can, and enjoy the activities that are around. We will try to do our best to have a very nice event during the meetings. I'm looking forward to it. And if there's any question on this later on, don't hesitate, just contact me. You'll be able to track me down, I'm sure, and I'll be happy to answer questions. Thank you. Trying to stop the share. Here we go.
Very nice, Gary.
Well, if no other information, I just want to announce that since this meeting is a very unique format, many people probably while working and also attend our Congress, we'll keep this site alive for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So anyone missed some of the talks, for example, I was not able to attend all the sessions, and I found that this session, the quality is extremely high, thankful the scientific committee and chairs. So we welcome people to logging back, same access, you just need to have the login and password. We encourage you share this news with your colleagues. If anyone they want to join, because it's a recorded session, now even the live one becomes recorded. You have a chance to get in and out. So we hope this new format will actually save your time. You don't have to travel long distance, save the cost, and then still get the benefit of science. So with that, I guess we will formally announce the closing of the 2021 ISV Virtual Annual Congress, and hopefully see you next year and then still communicating in the next few months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.